How long have you been here?
Well, Finsbury about 2 months, and Civic from St Paul's, and about 5.5 months prior to that. I mean, it's just past 7-month anniversary. I've been there since the beginning.
Yeah. So, how have you found it different here from the other places you've stayed at? Because if you were at St Paul's originally, is that correct?
Yeah. In terms of St Paul, sort of different from St Paul's, less through traffic, less exposure to the public, less of a police presence. In fact, it feels a lot less hostile than the situation of St Paul's. Really, I think it's a new wave of consciousness, and it's come over, especially, I mean, you look at it, it's very much within the consciousness of the under sort of 30s, especially amongst people who've just reached sort of 18 now through to people who are in the mid-20s now. These are people who, you know, have really experienced the radicalisation, because they've just come to maturity at a point where pretty much all the safety nets they've been brought up to believe in have sort of been stripped away. And coincidentally, it's also the first generation that's been brought up without the blind authority and belief that, you know, the Cold War entailed. We're really the first generation to grow up without the fear of arbitrary violence perpetrated against us by a faceless enemy, which, you know, up until 9/11 sort of we had a fairly carefree existence when it came to it, compared to our parents and our grandparents and so on. And I think in that sense we're less likely to, or less willing to, you know, follow or believe in authority.
What's the real kind of goal?
Short term, I mean, really it's getting ourselves educated and you know, armed with the tools, the know-how, the you know, the mental and physical ability to carry on something like that. And really, like, the first step in a long battle is general awareness, public consciousness, because at the end of the day, the reason that we're seeing so much opposition to change, I think, and so much willingness to keep the norm, is that people just aren't educated, or aren't educated in the right manner. And I think if we educate them, they'll be able to make a choice that I think that a lot of them haven't really consciously identified with yet. And long term, I mean, we're looking at real systematic change within global systems. We're looking at you know, an end to disparity and wealth and quality of life is really, you know, social and economic quality of life being equalised, and you know, providing people with basic minimum norms of well-being and healthiness and psychological you know, health. I think that's the objective in the day, to cause this on a systematic scale, which will have to come as a popular movement rather than from any kind of vanguard or steering committee or group of elites. It really has to come from the sort of lowest order of society.
Okay, that's great. And I mean, have you seen like any type of change, like even if it's minimal, since you've started the movement?
Go behind the car.
Absolutely.
You've seen something change?
We've seen the fact that the establishment and authority have actually recognised the fact that this is a major issue in people's lives, and whereas previous to Occupy it was kind of being very much brushed under the carpet, after the sort of outcry that came because Occupy came along, you found that suddenly the, you know, the bankers were willing to sort of recognise the fact that this particular form of capitalism didn't work and it needs to be more ethical or so. And the three main parties, you know, sort of came out with statements about how you know, unfair it was for certain sectors of society. So at least on one level, we know that the governments and the authorities can't turn around and say, you know, bloody hell, like, we could be in trouble if this gains momentum. And of course they do what they always do, which is provide moderate recall to kind of stall the major impetus of the movements, like the Labour Party in the 20s or so on, they always give you a minor reform, you know, sort of votes for certain women here, or votes for certain minorities there, or, you know, a bit of social welfare here, or a bit of public education there, because the majority of people will sort of be fine, you know, made an effort. Whereas reality is it perpetuates the issue, because, you know, if they didn't make these slight concessions, they'd be swept away in a sort of deluge of, you know, essentially won't be a popular revolution or a people's revolution. But they give enough here and there, they're clever enough to just forestall the inevitable year by year. And eventually it will reach, I think, it's inevitable that it will reach critical mass, at which point the governments can't give any more, and the people aren't willing to have any more taken from those who are in power. But really, that society should be geared towards caring for people and allowing them to fulfil their potentials on a major scale, rather than just pandering to the minorities who have the money and who have the lobbying ability, and who destroy the ability of people to actually progress in their lives, or actually enjoy or even have lives, while they're sort of being kept in this perpetual system of oppression, both social and economic, which perpetuates itself over generations and generations and generations, just to benefit those minorities who are in power.
Yeah, so first of all, how long have you been living
In and around this area, 4 months now.
4 months?
5 months, actually, for 5 months.
5 months?
5 months, yeah.
In Finsbury Square?
No, actually, when I first arrived, St. Paul's was the main site. I went there and they referred me, they said, I'm going to stay, Finsbury Square is a good place. So I came here, I stayed here a couple of nights, and at the time we had the UBS building, UBS Bank building, just down the street. We occupied the whole building. It was known as the Bank of Ideas.
Yeah.
And we created like a community workshop, artistic expression place. I was involved in the welfare and well-being of the people within the group, as well as anybody who wanted to attend seminars or workshops on things like yoga, qigong. I tried to incorporate meditation and encourage people to meditate, group meditation to enhance the energy within the group, and create spaces where people could relax. Because we got something I found, something called activist burnout. Activist burnout is where people actually need a break. You know, it gets too much.
And to relax.
Yeah, I need to relax.
De-stress sort of thing.
Yeah.
Can you give me your own interpretation of why Occupy London is here, and also does that relate to how you feel about it? Are you here for the same cause?
I'm here for the primary cause, which is basically to change the way the world is the system that the world is running under, the corruption, all the blatant wars and corruption and everything that's attached to that. And there are many reasons why people are here. In particular, Finsbury Park was never supposed to be a flagship space for Occupy. It just so happens that this is the last place that we have in London. There are a couple of places that were around, but they've also been evicted. You know, we have campsites in Limehouse and Mile End, and they will spring up when and where we find places available. You know, and there's recently been a law that I think has been passed. It looks like it's been passed that makes squatting illegal, which is completely. I don't know much about squatting, but it seems to me that thousands of buildings are being disused, and so many people are now being made homeless because of the situation. But they're criminalising this. This is quite unfair.